Hello, friends. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, things are good. So I hope things are going well. Right now, in the middle of the holiday season, and got kind of fun chaos and amazing experiences and magical moments. Yeah. So then, when the guides and angels came to me and told me that the word today is animosity, I was like, oh, that doesn't fit the spirit. Don't feel into animosity today. It does not feel right. And then they explained why they picked that word. Um, they said that we should try not to have animosity against animosity. So, like hate of hate or fear of fear. Try not to fear fear. And that, I am guilty of that because, like, I don't watch mass media. I don't watch horror, action adventure movies. I don't want to get into that whole fear thing. But then, they said don't fear fear. And I'm like, I wonder if I fear fear. I wonder if that's part of me because I am. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to watch that. Like almost to the point where it's um, like I'm afraid of it. Like, yeah, I want to stay 10 feet away from it. So, yeah, don't have animosity against animosity. So don't hate. Don't fear. And then the one that they said to me that also caught me off guard, when the fear I could, totally relate to. But the one I was like, they said, and this will catch you, Loni, don't love too much. Because it's like the opposites. Like if you go too much one way or too much the other way, it sets you off balance. And the important part, and that's why it's good to do walk in the woods and to meditate and to like get into like a zen zone in and that's what the don't fear and don't love too much and don't have animosity against animosity too much. Too much of anything is not a good thing, right? So it's like carry this fine line of balance, the yin yang of, like um so you're not going to be bothered if it's like goes too far in one direction. So you think of a kid, at an amusement park and like, oh, how much fun they're having, and just love that, and like to the point where when they're not having that or they're not having Christmas morning, they're in this depression. That's just a child's point of view. We as adults, could be the same thing. It's like, you get like a big paycheck and you're like all excited about it, and then and so you're like up here, and then when you don't have money, you're down here. So animosity, you get in a fight with someone is just like like you feel like he's your biggest enemy ever. Why did he do that to me? Why did he say that? Blah 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 blah. So you have this animosity against him. So you hate that you felt that way about, you're like, oh, I'm a spiritual being, I'm above that. Why did I have so much animosity against for that person? So I have animosity for the animosity. So it's like the fine line. Let's walk the fine line. They're showing me a tightrope, and they're showing me if you meditate, like you could be this graceful tightrope walker, and you've got those little kind of ballerina soft shoes, and you're like walking and then breathing and walking and breathing and carrying. You got your hands out like this, so you're even keeled. Animosity. So yeah, when I heard that word, I was like, I don't want that to be my word. So here, I'm having animosity against the word animosity. Like, yeah, crazy. Okay, so Milo Farm Oracle cards. We'll see how it's related to animosity and the message that they have for us today. What do you have, dear? They told me They told me a few years ago that they were my fleet. My guides and angels were my fleet. But just yesterday they said, we're your spirit team. We feel like that fits a place in your heart better to be called your spirit team. So my guides and angels are my spirit team, and so they're here. The word animosity. And this card you got to see before me. Ah, papyrus, gifts. Oh, this is so true. Okay, so a few years ago, I think 2 years in a row, I grew papyrus out of the South Pond, and I loved it. I loved it. The next year, the greenhouse I go to, and the other greenhouses I checked, didn't have papyrus. I was like, really sad. And then last year, I had kind of balanced that out a little bit more. So they're showing me that how I had extreme joy and extreme sadness. So I had, when it comes to the papyrus of myself, that I went that, you know, big extremes on that, just being almost, you know, not devastated, not the end of the world kind of thing, but just like, I wish I could have had a papyrus. So, and then balancing out, they're telling me that the reason things don't fall into place, like you want to have something or not have something, and when you want it that much, sometimes it doesn't happen in your life to show you how much you should have appreciated it, and that there are other things that are just as good, and there's something bigger or more important you should have been focusing on at that point. I mean, this is like a small minor example. I mean, that could be like a big thing, you know, when it comes to an illness or, you know, or a friendship or something. So, and gifts. So the word is gifts. So this fits perfect for this time of year, you know, the gift giving. And like, you know, like as kids, you're like, my sibling got more than me. You know, this person didn't give me a gift. That happened. This, you know, like I didn't get a thank you. Whatever is going through your mind when it comes to, hi, Socrates. I've got my sheep out my window looking right in the window at me. That's Socrates. He was a baby lamb, and I bottle fed him. So gifts, they're saying the same thing with gifts. It's like the balance of giving and receiving. And that everything's a gift, and that to keep the evenness of it. So, you know, that don't have too much joy in giving or too much joy in receiving, or, you know, just that it's all in the experience, they're saying. So the tightrope walker with the gifts and the animosity. So he's walking. He hates, they're showing me fire underneath him. And like he has animosity towards that fire. You know, it's going to burn the rope and he's going to fall. But if he has animosity towards that animosity, like I hate that I'm feeling this hatred or this uncomfortableness, or that it will keep him off track. So to kind of like release that and feel joy. They're showing me like take both sides and bring it into your heart and feel the evenness of your heart. Like you breathe. You don't even know it. You're breathing like on a regular level. So it's like your thoughts too. And this goes back to like mastering yourself and like mastering your thoughts. So the gifts are in the experience is what they're saying. So animosity. We all have it against something. And against it in itself, especially us that are on a spiritual path. So think about that. They want us to think about that. Don't have animosity against animosity, fear against fear, and too much love for love. Because in this, we are infinite beings, but in this time and space, this timeline is the only one. There are other ones, but love you. Happy New Year. Peace warriors. Until next time. Namaste.